All right, snow on top, or it doesn't have to be snow. It could be dust. It could be whatever you want to do directionally.
Okay.
So it doesn't, you know, it could even be like the sides is red rock and the top is metal. So like it doesn't really matter like what is actually getting thrown on the thing. So you have your object. I don't think I have any textures on here, so I need to add something. So this will be ground. I'm just gonna make it so it's not so blinding. This will be our let's call it snow mix, maybe. Oh shoot, snow mix. Just for our eyes. Let me turn that off. Okay, so everything is going to happen in the shading tab. Let me get this better. Okay, so here is our shader thingy. So you need a mix because we're gonna mix two different things. I'm gonna run through it and make sure I'm doing it right because I might backtrack a couple times.
Okay, so
Yeah. It's not gonna be a full follow. Okay, yeah, because that's already wrong. Let me think. First, I want to get it to where two colors are showing up in the places that I want. So I'm just going to do RGB, so color 1, color 2, and I just duplicated that. Later we'll swap it for image textures or whatever. I may even change it from shader 1 and shader 2. So it's like the snow, the rock.
Okay.
So that's probably how I'll end up, I'm guessing. Here's the backtrack thing. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to duplicate that. This will be snow. This will be rock. Let me frame this. So this will be called snow. You don't really need to know this part. It's just for me, really. Rock. Okay. Snow, rock. And to mix them, there's a mix node called shader. This one only works for mixing shaders. Kind of throw it up here. We can plug snow into one, and rock into the other. And this in here. Right now, I don't know what it'll do. Yeah, it does that, just because it's the same. Let's change this to some crazy color, and this to a crazy color. And if we go from one to the other, it'll go between the two, right? So it's saying 0 is snow, 1 is rock, or whatever. So with that being said, we need to use the factor to say where what is what. That's like our mask. So to do that, let me think which one it is. I think it's vector. This is the part where it comes, let's see, vector, transform. Let me just do it this way. Wish I had a bigger screen. Alright, we don't need this right now. We just need this. We have to separate out the thing. So separate X, Y, Z. All this does is it says separate out the X from the Y and from the Z. So if you notice already, it's starting to get a gradient on it. So if I swap between the Y, you'll now see it coming from the right. Let me get a color ramp just to increase that so we can see it. So let's put it more in the middle. Like this. So from the right, if I put this back in, it's going to go on the top, and this one will go from front to back, I think. So that just shows kind of it's coming from different directions. We want it from the top down because snow falls generally from top down. So we'll go with X. So top down. But we want it based on normals, I think. Let me double check this. Yeah. So if you see, now it's starting to hit the tops. So normals is computer way of saying which direction it's coming from. It's like a normal map. It's faking that basically, like directionality of light. So so this we can blend it. So like I said, we're creating a mask to blend those two, the rock and the snow. So right now this is what it would look like. So that kind of looks like what snow would look like, right? So it's hitting on all the top edges. So what we can do is plug this back in here. This is our shaders. And now we're going to use that to say what is what. So now, that's backwards. But, so what we can do is just switch these two. So we'll put rock on top, snow on bottom, and plug it back in. So now we have our mask. Like that's going to be what we're going to use to do the two things. You can keep this, and like later on you can like make it softer or not, depending on what you're wanting. You can even invert it if you needed to. Even softer, like dust, if dust was coming down or whatever. So now we need to get. Let's find a generic rock texture. Actually, I think I might already have one. Look at that there. And you already have this, right? So, let's use that. No. I'm sure you have a better texture, but I'm going to just mimic it. You could use this for your grass. Like grass could be growing, moss could be growing just like this. So it doesn't have to be snow. It's like anything that you want, anything that you want. You could even put donuts on there. Like if your texture was a donut. So yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, so let's get this looking a little better. Rock is pretty dull, 0.8. No, oh well. Rendered. Miami's image, texture, bump. All of this is just create the what you call it, the material. Open textures. I'm not gonna snow one. I'll use that in a second. Okay. Is that even working? Maybe it's too light. the fudge? Yeah, there it is. There, just a little bit of whatever. Show this. Okay, so there's material 1, and now we'll make the snow, which is going to be box. Cool. Let's make this bigger. Because snow is softer than rock. Look at that. This, we're gonna just drag it in there. See what it looks like. And then, excuse me. Snow tends to have like little speckles in it, like super high speckles. So I can fake that with like a noise, I think. Noise texture. Plug that into roughness. We'll see if it works. Might not. Color ramp. We're gonna have to invert that. Yeah, so you can get that look. Let's raise this up just a smidge. Yeah, that way it starts to get that kind of shine. The other thing it has is like a sheen to it, which is like an edge highlight. Like velvet, kind of has also has that. So sheen is kind of what you do there. Not sheen. So yeah, that gets you that. So that's starting to look like that. One thing that to make it look even nicer, like this is acceptable. Like one thing to make it look even nicer, possibly, is to include the bump or the normal map into the blending that it does. So let's see if we can do that. This is where it gets experimental. How do I do that? We would have to mix it in with this and kind of blend it. So, do you want to know how to do that? Here, let me do this. I'm going to stop this. That's how you do it